I literally have no idea what I yapped about for about 20 minutes. Hey everyone, welcome back to Beyond Nihility. This will not be one of those videos wherein we usually learn some feature about Procreate and try to implement it, or create some illustration and go through the process of creating that illustration. This will be a pretty serious video wherein we'll be discussing about AI art in general and the ongoing viral Ghibli studio style art. So basically about those apps where you tend to go to get inspiration, but they are just filled with AI art. For example, your beloved Pinterest. So yeah, I think it's pretty important to discuss about these things because as an artist, they do affect me a lot. So I wanted to just put a couple of words here from an artist's perspective on how AI art is bad and why do we need AI art basically? Because I'm pretty sure that AI was invented to be helpful in technology, but art is something that we still like to do. Like, why do we have to come and intervene in a space wherein we still like doing things around in the traditional way? So, yeah, I think this will just be a yapping session. So, please bear with me. So, first thing is, how did this trend even go viral? I think it was, from what I got to know, ChatGPT have released their new model wherein it's mainly focused on image generation and things like that. And the first time it gained some attention on social media is when probably a software engineer based in Seattle, I think they created an image in Ghibli art style, and people actually liked it, and they saw that how ChatGPT is actually good at this particular art style. Now, ChatGPT did release their model basically for everything, basically for image generation of all sort of types. But surprisingly, Studio Ghibli art trend, it was able to do it very well. So it quickly gained some traction, and everyone just started going crazy on creating the images and uploading them on social media and stuff like that. Now, some people did that because they had fear of missing out, and some people did that because they actually were not aware as to what this trend is. It just looked nice to them, and they just did that. And some people, artists themselves, who actually do not have an idea as to how bad this whole situation is, so they also created images and they just uploaded it. So wherever I go now, like Twitter and Instagram, everywhere there's like piles and piles of images created in this particular trend. So to throw some light on what this art style is, so you may have heard about Studio Ghibli, which produces these wonderful movies, and they have this particular style. I mean, if you see any of those movies, you can say that it is Studio Ghibli because it is that iconic. Now, the person, the founder of Studio Ghibli, which was Hayao Miyazaki-san, so they might have spent probably their entire life trying to perfect this one particular art style, which could be different from the other ones that are there in the art section. And they themselves are against this particular AI situation because I do quite agree with them being an artist myself. One thing I'll tell you, recently I was trying to create a mandala, butterfly mandala. I wanted it to have like a lot of depth with a butterfly emerging from the background of mandalas. Now, I went to Pinterest to find some inspirations, but when I went and saw, there were like hundreds and hundreds of images filled with AI generated art. Now, here I am trying to find a particular inspiration, and probably while I finish the art, it'll be, I don't know, ages. So, it takes that much effort to create one particular art, and you go to an AI model, you just type a prompt like, I want a butterfly mandala, and it can generate that in like seconds. Now, the thing with art is, the more mass produced it is, the less value it has. And if you're someone who is using AI to create art, you will just go ahead and type a prompt. And since it's taking less effort anyway, why not make more copies of it? But the problem is, the more and more you produce, the less value it has because there could be hundreds of people who could be perfecting their prompts to make better art than you. Now, where is the creativity in that? You just sit and you type and it's just done like that. Now, these days, it has become way too hard for even a pro artist to tell if it's AI generated art or human made art, because take the example of the newer ChatGPT model. The images that it is creating for the Studio Ghibli art, you can actually, it looks okay. I mean, it doesn't look like those typical AI generated images wherein you just have like three fingers, or you're cross-eyed or something, or your leg is missing or something like that. It actually looks okay. But the problem here is from the ethical perspective, because all this particular art style that was generated or created by Hayao Miyazaki-san, it's basically like you're copying their work. You're probably training your models based on all these images, and you're generating your own art because of it. Does it not bother if you work on something really hard and produce something that's really nice, and somebody else comes in and steals the work and just mass produces them? That's exactly what is happening. And Hayao Miyazaki-san, they are actually strictly against AI, and they did tell something like this. Now you can see that they are pretty disgusted by this whole AI thing. I have no idea what's going on in their mind right now that Studio Ghibli AI trend is just taking over the internet by storm. The question to ask ourselves is, where do you put the line? Like earlier when AI was just taking over, we were pretty amazed by how it can do a couple of tasks that may have taken a lot of time to create, but the AI just made it easy for you. And then people started using it a lot to boost their productivity and stuff like that. Now, there were a couple of people who actually lost their jobs and their income and everything because AI was taking over. Now, you may have an argument saying AI is never going to stop, you just have to adapt to it. But in this whole situation, especially in art, like the root of art is basically creativity. Now, you're stealing that creativity and you're training your models based on the creative work someone has done and mass producing all these products. Where is the value in that? Now, how do you think they came to this position where they are actually creating AI art with no particular defects? It's because they trained their models so much on the real art, the actual art, which people draw with like anatomical perfection and things like that. And that's how these AI models are now able to create something that is kind of anatomically correct, if I would like to say. So there will be a time where you'll just be stuck with AI art with no new creativity because there won't be any images to train on basically. So yeah, this it's kind of sad to be honest. Now, before you come at me and say that, oh, it's basically you're just talking about this because it's something that affects your earnings and things like that. The thing is, I'm not earning anything right now. I'm just pretty much starting on. Well, I did some commissions wherein I earned quite a bit, but yeah, this is purely coming from the future perspective, not with something selfish in there. And coming to Pinterest, boy oh boy, I did have an experience with it. So recently I created some illustration and I was looking for some ideas to create using Pinterest because from years I've been looking out to Pinterest and finding inspirations from it and trying to create something basically. But the recent one that I created, I got to know that it was basically AI generated, and I felt pretty bad because I this particular AI image may have been created based on someone's original work, and my dumb ass couldn't differentiate between AI art and the real art because trust me, that's how difficult it has been right now. And I took my inspiration from that and I created something, and later I get to know that it's actually AI generated. So I went and I deleted the video that I had created. I will try to get better at differentiating AI art and the real art, but honestly it's just pretty difficult right now, but I will try my best. So that's the whole Pinterest situation. And whoever is just supporting this whole thing and think that AI is okay in terms of art, you're just thinking about profit and not exactly the process. It's like, as long as the food tastes good, I really don't care what has gone inside it, right? But the thing is, it can be unhealthy for you, and the same goes in art as well. And I think it's time that we realize that it's a bad idea. I'm really not sure as to why AI even stepped into the art area, because it was supposed to do my finances. It was supposed to plan my day better and give these awesome business ideas that I could implement. But why do you want to do something that I actually like doing it myself? I have no clue. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I have been yapping way too much, which with no particular solution at the end, which is kind of sad, because when you talk about something so much and try to highlight all the problems that you have with something, but then you actually don't know the solution. I think the only solution is we need to learn how to draw the lines as to where AI has to stop, rather than just letting it take over everywhere, because it quite literally reduces the creativity. You just blindly copy something that has already been done and ask AI to create something new out of it. I mean, how long can you go like this? There will be a day when artists will just stop doing something and you're just stuck with the AI art, and you basically have to recycle your AI art in order to create a new AI art. So the whole cycle will just continue and it'll just be sad, man. I mean, yeah, I think that's all I have to say in this video. But I hope you understand how the whole situation is, and I would like to know about your views. So probably we can have a healthy discussion in the comments. So leave a comment on what you think could be the solution for this. So I'll see you in the next one. I'll try not to get my spirits low because of the whole situation, and I will definitely try to ignore all the hundreds and thousands of AI art that's coming onto my feed right now. So, yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and bye bye.